Dick Van Dyke, beloved for his joyful charm and comedic brilliance, danced into hearts in Mary Poppins and The Dick Van Dyke Show, and at 98 became the oldest daytime Emmy winner. Yet beyond the fame was a family life that began in Danville, Illinois, with high school sweetheart Margie Willett. Their 36-year marriage produced 4 children, Christian, Barry, Stacy, and Carrie Beth, who each carved their own path from public service and business to television and the arts. Today, we explore the rich and varied lives of the Van Dyke children and how they shaped a legacy of their own. Number 4. Christian Van Dyke, born on May 13, 1950, was the first child of Dick Van Dyke and Margie Willett. He arrived at a time when his father's career was just beginning to take flight, as the family moved from their Illinois roots to Los Angeles. Christian experienced his father's ascent to superstardom firsthand. His own entry into show business was brief but memorable. On January 31, 1962, a young Christian appeared as a finger-snapping, fedora-wearing youngster named Frankie on his father's iconic sitcom, The Dick Van Dyke Show. This early cameo, however, was not the beginning of a child acting career. It was a conscious and pivotal decision by his father that shaped Christian's entire future. Dick Van Dyke, wary of the pressures and potential pitfalls of early fame, intentionally made his son wait. "He wanted me to have my childhood," Christian later recalled. This thoughtful parental guidance aimed at shielding him from the industry's demands was instrumental in fostering Christian's independent spirit and allowing him the freedom to discover his own passions. That path led him far from the sound stages of Hollywood and into the rigorous worlds of law and corporate leadership. After attending Occidental College in Los Angeles, Christian pursued a law degree from Arizona State University. This academic foundation became the springboard for a distinguished career, first in public service and later in the high-stakes corporate sector. Christian established a significant career in Oregon's legal system, demonstrating a deep commitment to public service. His journey through the state's justice system was marked by steady advancement. He served with distinction as a deputy district attorney in Corvallis, honing his skills in the courtroom. He then took on the role of an assistant attorney general in the state capital of Salem, engaging with legal matters at a higher level. He ultimately rose to the prominent position of district attorney for Marion County, a role that placed him as the chief prosecutor for a significant Oregon jurisdiction. After years of dedicated public service, Christian transitioned his legal and strategic acumen to the corporate world, taking on leadership roles at 2 of America's most iconic and values-driven brands. He served as corporate counsel for Nike, the global sportswear giant. Following this, he became the vice president of marketing at Patagonia, the renowned outdoor apparel company celebrated for its commitment to environmentalism and corporate responsibility. His time at these companies was impactful. In an interview, he discussed being at Nike during a pivotal period of strategic renewal, where he was directly involved in shaping the company's narrative, even writing the annual report during their recommitment to values. This period saw the launch of the legendary Just Do It campaign, the signing of Michael Jordan, and the creation of the cross-training category. His ability to articulate Nike's brand philosophy and later the distinct, almost anti-consumerist brand identity of Patagonia, a company whose customers, he noted, don't want to be billboards, showcased a sophisticated understanding of corporate culture and consumer relationships. His career trajectory, from public prosecutor to strategic leader, at 2 of the world's most influential brands, paints a picture of a man with a versatile intellect and a keen understanding of systems, values, and communication. Christian Van Dyke's personal life has been marked by both the joys of family and profound personal sorrow. In 1974, he and his then-wife, Caroline Heller, welcomed their first child, a daughter named Jessica Lee. Tragically, their joy was cut short. In April 1987, Jessica Lee passed away at the tender age of 13 from complications related to chickenpox and Ray's syndrome, a rare but serious condition. This devastating loss was an immense personal challenge for Christian and his family. Despite this heartbreaking tragedy, they demonstrated incredible resilience. Christian and Caroline later welcomed at least 2 other children, a son and another daughter, continuing to build their family in the face of profound grief. As of 2017, Christian was reported to be living in Bend, Oregon. He has maintained a close relationship with his father throughout his life and is said to look out for his dad. This enduring bond was highlighted in 2012 when Dick Van Dyke, then 86, married 40-year-old makeup artist Arlene Silver. Christian admitted to having initial doubts about the marriage, a natural concern for a son looking out for his father's well-being. However, after witnessing their happiness, his perspective shifted. He famously told his father, "Dad, I get it." This moment of acceptance and understanding speaks volumes about the deep and evolving nature of their father-son relationship. Number 3. Barry Van Dyke, born on July 31, 1951, in Atlanta, Georgia, is Dick Van Dyke's second son. Unlike his older brother, Christian, Barry felt the pull of the family business from a young age and has carved out a long and successful career as an actor, writer, and director, often in a beloved and enduring partnership with his father. Like Christian, Barry's first television appearance was on The Dick Van Dyke Show. At the age of 9, he played a violin-toting youngster named Florian in the episode The Talented Neighborhood. His father also encouraged him to have a normal childhood before pursuing acting full-time. After high school, Barry began his professional journey, working as a gopher on the new Dick Van Dyke Show before securing roles as an extra. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Barry Van Dyke became a familiar face on television, building an extensive resume with guest roles on many of the era's most popular shows. His versatility was on full display in series spanning all genres: action, adventure, Wonder Woman, Magnum, P.I., The A-Team, The Dukes of Hazzard, Remington Steele, Sci-Fi. He had a main cast role as Lieutenant Dillon in Galactica 1980, the spin-off of the classic Battlestar Galactica. His personal love for motorcycling came in handy for the role. He also took on a lead role in the 4th season of Airwolf as Saint John Hawke. Comedy: Mork and Mindy, The Harvey Korman Show, Full House. Drama: Aid is Enough Murder, she wrote. This steady work across 2 decades demonstrates Barry's talent and reliability as a working actor, establishing his own credentials long before his most famous collaboration with his father began. The most significant and defining chapter of Barry's career was the CBS crime series Diagnosis Murder, which aired from 1993 to 2001. In this beloved series, Barry starred as Lieutenant Detective Steve Sloan, a homicide detective who often found his cases intertwined with the medical insights of his father, Dr. Mark Sloan, played by Dick Van Dyke. The show was a true family affair. Dick Van Dyke came out of retirement for the series, stating, "The opportunity to work with Barry was one of my main reasons for doing it. Their genuine, easygoing chemistry was the heart of the show's appeal." Barry himself noted that his father pretty much plays himself and that their relationship is pretty much ours, making the role a natural fit. The show was a huge success, running for 178 episodes and spawning 5 subsequent television movies, all starring the father-son duo. Barry's involvement went beyond acting. He also showcased his creative talents by writing and directing several episodes. Even after Diagnosis Murder concluded, the partnership continued in the Murder, 101 television film series from 2006 to 2008. Barry's admiration for his father is clear. "I'd work with him anytime. He is the best to work with, very creative. He set a fine example." In 1974, Barry Van Dyke married Carrie. Their enduring marriage of 5 decades has produced 4 children: Carrie, Shane, Wes, and Taryn. The Van Dyke entertainment legacy has continued through his line, with his son, Shane Van Dyke, also pursuing a career as an actor, writer, and director. While his father is a recipient of nearly every major award in entertainment, Barry has built a different kind of legacy. His career is one of consistent work, audience appeal, and a beloved on-screen partnership that has endeared him to generations of television viewers. He found a unique way to honor his family heritage while building a successful and lasting career of his own. Number 2. Stacy Van Dyke, born around 1955, was the third of Dick and Margie Van Dyke's 4 children. Like her siblings, she was introduced to the world of performance from a young age. Her father noted her talent in school plays, and in the 1970s, she honed her skills on stage as a member of the Barnstormers, a performing group at the Windmill Dinner Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. This early experience in live theater provided a strong foundation for her later television work. She made her TV debut on the new Dick Van Dyke Show, playing a character named Sally. However, her most significant and recurring acting role was on the hit series Diagnosis: Murder. In a classic example of the Van Dyke family's on-screen collaborations, Stacy was cast as Carol Hilton, later Sloane, the estranged daughter of her real-life father's character, Dr. Mark Sloane. Her role as Carol allowed for some powerful dramatic moments that showcased her acting abilities beyond simple cameos. In the memorable 1996 episode, Murder in the Family, Stacy's character returns home to escape an abusive husband, creating a storyline rich with emotional complexity. The episode delved into the strained but loving relationship between Carol and her on-screen brother, played by her real-life brother, Barry Van Dyke. The natural underlying chemistry between the real-life father, brother, and sister undoubtedly lent a layer of authenticity to these on-screen family dynamics. Stacy also reprised the role in the 2002 TV movie Diagnosis: Murder, Town Without Pity, where her character met a tragic end. Despite these notable roles and a clear talent for acting, Stacy did not pursue a continuous high-profile career in Hollywood. Her last known acting credit is from that 2002 TV movie. This suggests a deliberate choice to step away from the industry. Instead, her creative spirit found a different outlet in music, often in collaboration with her family. She married musician Mike Breen, whom she met at the Windmill Dinner Theater, where they both performed. Their shared artistic background became a cornerstone of their life together. In 2017, they released a collaborative recording of the classic Christmas carol, Away in a Manger, a quiet expression of their shared musical passion. She also contributed, alongside her sister, Carrie Beth, to a song her brother-in-law, Kevin McNally, released. Stacy Van Dyke's journey shows an individual who is a capable and integral part of her family's television legacy, yet who ultimately prioritized a more private life. Number 1. Carrie Beth Van Dyke, born in October 1961, is the youngest of the 4 Van Dyke children. She grew up in a household filled with joy and creativity. Her father, Dick Van Dyke, fondly recalled in his memoir how a young Carrie Beth would playfully insist he dance with her to Herb Alpert, and the Tijuana Brass's hit song, Tijuana Sauerkraut, painting a picture of a lively and affectionate family home. Like her siblings, Carrie Beth was brought into the family business. She was the last of the children to appear on the new Dick Van Dyke Show, guest starring in 2 episodes in the early 1970s, as a character also named Carrie. Her most extensive acting work was also on Diagnosis: Murder, where she appeared in 19 episodes. While she appeared frequently, her roles were often smaller, and she did not play one of Dr. Sloane's children, distinguishing her role from her sister, Stacy's. Her presence on the show further solidified it as a true Van Dyke family production. After the conclusion of diagnosis, murder, Carrie Beth, like Stacy, stepped away from a public acting career, choosing a life of greater privacy. Her story, too, becomes one deeply intertwined with music and family. In 1983, she married actor and musician Kevin McNally, whom she had also met at the Windmill Dinner Theater in Arizona. Their shared roots in that theatrical environment blossomed into a lasting partnership. The musical connection within this branch of the Van Dyke family is particularly strong. In 2015, Kevin McNally released an original song on SoundCloud titled "Searching Your Eyes," which he shared he had written for Carrie Beth when they first began dating, a beautiful personal tribute. This recording became a family collaboration, featuring vocals from Carrie Beth's sister, Stacy Van Dyke, and Stacy's husband, Mike Breen. This single track is a powerful testament to the close, creative bond shared between the two sisters and their husbands. Carrie Beth and Kevin McNally have 2 children, a son and a daughter. Their son, Tyler McNally, has continued the family's artistic tradition, pursuing a career as a musician and producer. This extension of the creative legacy into a 3rd generation through her line further highlights the artistic environment Carrie Beth has nurtured within her own family. Most recently, Carrie Beth was implicitly part of the joyous family gathering for the music video of Coldplay's All My Love, a special project filmed to celebrate Dick Van Dyke's 99th birthday in late 2024. The video, featuring Dick surrounded by his big family of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, was a beautiful public expression of their enduring and collective bond. What is your favorite Dick Van Dyke role or memory? And what do you think of the very different